Oh god, I don't want to look at the screen. Oh. I'm gonna have to put this on the screen though when I'm editing this. Oh god. Oh. Oh, he's licking the feet. Yeah, so they just emphasized the feet licking. And he's like, oh no, it's not having any effect. She's not reacting at all. I'm gonna have to lick even harder. So, alright, so犬になったらepisode 11, we're like almost near the end. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 episodes left, so let's just get started. So it starts off right from when the last episode left off, where they go straight to the school festival, and you know this episode's gonna be fucking crazy when it says, when the title of the episode is called Doggy Foot Bath, and I'm just like, oh no, this is gonna be a foot fetish episode, is it? Out of all the things that are gonna make me uncomfortable, it's gonna be feet. Yeah, I'm gonna draw the line at feet. Yeah, and then Pochita's like, oh my god, look at Inukai-san, she's beautiful. She's like, stop looking at me, stop looking. And he's like, oh shit, no matter how much I look at her, like she's just gonna, you know, react like that, because he was looking up her skirt and everything. So yeah, they're at the school festival. They're getting a bunch of customers. And he's like, I'm not even sure what you do at a dog cafe. He's like, well, I'm getting petted by other girls. He's like, all right then, cool. He's like, if we attract enough customers, then the suspicious girl might show up, and Inukai-san's getting really fucking angry because everybody else is petting Pochita, and you know, she refuses to have anyone else touch him. And she's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah. So they're all hanging out at the dog cafe, and they're like, oh no, guys, bad news! All the girls at the bunny cafe are stealing our customers. And they're like, what? What the fuck are we supposed to do? And he's like, oh great, it's Tsukishiro. Tsukishiro's stealing all the attention. It's all the hot girls in the bunny outfit acting like it's a cover club. We're hanging out with all the guys. And they're like, what do we do now? How are we supposed to beat them? You know, because remember, Inukai-san has a bet with Tsukishiro where if she wins the bet, then the bunny girl leaves the dog alone. But if the bunny girl wins, then she can do whatever she wants with the dog. And I don't want to know what she's gonna do. And Inukai-san's like, alright, I got an idea. And he's like, oh, wait, whoa, she's talking to people on her own? Like, without help? Oh, wow. He's like, well, you know, Pochita's tongue is pretty nice to you know, and, you know, he likes licking. So maybe... He's like, have you fucking lost your mind? She's like, what if we start doing doggy foot baths? And I'm just like, oh no, what the fuck? And they're like, you know, Inukai-san, that's actually a pretty good idea, but what the fuck is a doggy foot bath? And unfortunately, we're going to find out what that is. So Tsukishiro comes in here to brag that she's like winning. She's like, aw, where'd all your customers go? Look at you failing. Look at you being a loser and failing. She's like, well, but you see, might as well collect my prize now. She's like, look, I'm gonna win that bet. She's like, wait, where's Senpai? And she's like, please take your seat. Your seat is over here. She's like, wait, what's going on? She's like, okay, I'm gonna have you sit here. Please take your shoes off. She's like, wait, why do I have to take my shoes off? She's like, just do it. So she takes her shoes off. She's like, okay, but where's Senpai? And he's like, so we have to bathe their feet with our tongues? And I'm just like, oh, no, here it is. She's like, oh my god, Senpai? She's like, please, ma'am, please stay seated. And she's like, okay. And then he's licking the feet like crazy. And she's just like, she's fucking, like, she's orgasming right now from the feet licking. She's like, oh my god, it feels good. And he's like, oh my god. Like, this is the most inappropriate thing I think in the episode. This might be more inappropriate than some of the other stuff that happened in the previous episodes. Somebody on the anime team has a fetish probably for feet, because out of all the weird doggy human stuff that happens in the manga, this is the one thing that they keep, although this one is kind of plot relevant, as much as I don't want to say that. It's actually kind of important. But yeah, anyway, they extended this in the anime, because in the manga it was only like a few panels, but like they went out of their way to make this longer in the anime, and I really don't like it. She's like, oh my god, it's harder. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And he's just licking like crazy, and she's like, oh my god. Ah. He's like, Senpai, please stop. Oh. I don't know, either she just has a really high sensitivity to anything that he does to her, or because she's just that horny, or like he must be really good at licking girls' feet. I don't know, and I don't want to know. And apparently it's so strong, she fucking falls over, orgasming. And it's just like, oh my god, what in the fuck is that? And it's just like, that must be some good customer service. He's like, I'm sorry, Tsukishiro. And then you see Inukai being fucking pissed. And it's like, I don't get licked like that. He doesn't lick me like that. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. And so now all the other girls in the cafe are getting their legs and their feet licked. And I'm just like, ew? One, ew, and two, ew, feet. Like, one, it's bad that it's feet. And two, how did the school approve this? Like, how do you go into a school and you get a cafe, like, you know, like cat cafes are a thing. Or some kind of pet cafe, but a dog cafe where they're licking a girl's legs and feet, isn't that kind of weird? Like, I know that's, you know, that's what the anime covers, but like, oh god, I don't want to think about the feet. Like, ugh. He's like, alright, I need to get Inukai distracted so I can get out of here and look for the girl. But luckily for him, the girl shows up already. Alright, so here's, before we, okay, so she finally gets here and she's like, oh hey, I heard you guys are doing doggy baths or something. So, you know, I want to try it out. But before I get to that, this is when it completely deviates from the manga. Because there's an entire, like, large section that gets removed. So, the mysterious girl actually has two lackeys that were working in the dog cafe that don't seem to show up in the anime at all, because there were some parts where they did show up like a little bit early before they finally reveal who they are, like properly, but that didn't happen at all. So I don't know if they're saving that for season 2 if they make one, or if they just wanted to focus on the lab coat girl being the main one. But anyway, let me get to the point. So there's another girl here. He's climbing up on her legs. He's like, wait, that's the girl that sat on my tail with her ass. And you try to insert it somewhere, maybe, I don't know. He's like, alright, so, he's like, that's one of Inari's fucking, cronies. He's like, alright, well, I'm gonna climb up, get up on this girl's, like, upper body, start pushing at her, and then spill the drink that that she's holding. And it looks almost like he jizzed on her. Like, oh god. That's certainly a panel. Oh my god, when you see this panel, it's crazy. She's like, ugh. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, ugh, you fucking weird dog. He's like, I'm really sorry. She's like, hey, what the fuck is up with your dog? He's like, yo, your dog just fucking made me spill all this shit on my shirt. On my maid outfit. And it's like, oh, what the hell, man? And then you see Inukai-san taking a picture. I don't know why she's taking a picture, but she's taking a picture of it. And she's like, ugh. She's like, oh, this is disgusting. And they're like, oh, well, you know, let's work together. And he's like, wait a minute. You're that other girl that was saying that noticed there was a dog in the classroom. He's like, I'm gonna have to do something about her too. And Tsukishiro's like on a table, quivering, I guess, because she orgasmed too hard. And he's like, alright, how do I get out of here? He's like, I need to figure out how to get out of this room. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the lockers nearby. And, oh hey, I found like a clarinet or like a flute. This part's completely taken out of the anime. So he's like, alright, there's a flute. So I'm gonna grab that flute and jump behind the other girl. Get up on her from behind. Shove the flute behind her. Because I think it's Tsukishiro's flute. And she's like, oh, how dare you get close to senpai like that? And she starts getting pissed, and he's like, oh shit, she's standing up. And she's like, hey, that's mine, you know. She's like, I need that. I don't even know if it is hers, actually. So she starts chasing the other girl out of the room. I don't know, it's some weird desperate attempt. And then there's another girl, and she's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, whatever. And then Inari finally shows up. That's her name, Inari. So she finally shows up, and then she's like, oh, you know, what the hell is doggy foot baths? Alright, let's find out, guys. And then she's like, oh, hey, what a cute dog. This is your dog, right? So, you know, I'm gonna just take a seat. She's like, hey Inukai, can I get like a coffee and some sugar? She's like, alright, little doggy, get to licking my feet. And he's just like, he's like, just something off about this. He's like, normally, I really want to lick the girl's feet. He's like, but I'm getting a bad feeling about this. And I'm like, I'm having a bad feeling watching this episode. So it's like, okay. Alright, so he's like, normally I wouldn't balk at licking Inukai's feet, Nekotani or Tsukishido's. But he's like, come on, use the tongue. And he's like, I don't feel comfortable doing it. He's like, I really don't want to lick it. And I'm like, well, you didn't want to lick Inukai-san's feet that first time in that other episode, but okay. Also, the foot looks really fucking weird here. But I think that's just how feet look, and I don't like how feet look. I'm just exposing how much I don't like feet. Alright. He's like, Phil, can I ask you a hypothetical question? If your dog here was actually a human in a dog's body, how would you feel? And it's like, oh no. She's asking the real tough questions. He's like, I knew it! It was this bitch! He's like, she's the one! She's like, but that's not possible. But anything's possible. Like, if you really think about it, she's like, look, I mean, your taste in men is proof of that. And I'm just like, ooh, she's kind of crossing a line there with that. Although, to be fair, Inukai-san's sexual fantasies are kind of crossing a line. And, yeah, and she just drops the fucking plate that she was serving food with. Because, like, she just said it, like, outright. She just straight up said, like, dude, you're a dog fucker, like, we know you're a dog fucker, or at least I know you're a dog fucker. She's like, look, you can't deny it. And Inukai's like, oh no. So if your precious dog was just a human in disguise, would you still love him? And it's just like, oh god, and her face, she's just like scared. She's like, would you hate him? And she's just frozen in place because she can't handle the fact that somebody asked such a fucking, I feel like kind of like a little too personal of a question. Like yeah, we know she's a dog fucker, but it's kind of mean to just ask someone straight up, like, look, are you a dog fucker? Especially like when she wasn't doing anything wrong at that moment. She was just kind of minding her own business and working in the dog cafe. She's like, okay, now I'm gonna sit down and go back to what I was doing. She's like, he's torturing her. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? He's like, alright, you know what? Screw this. And then he spreads the toe open, starts licking the toe, and oh god, I don't want to talk about this episode. Also, I don't know why, but he's licking the wrong foot. I think in the manga he's licking the left foot, but in the anime it looks like the right foot, or maybe they animated it wrong. I don't know, and I don't want to know. Also, she did her toenails in the manga, but I guess in the anime they can't be bothered to color that in. Oh god, I don't want to look at the screen. Ugh. I'm gonna have to put this on the screen though when I'm editing this. Oh god. Ugh. Oh, he's licking the feet. Yeah, so they just emphasized the feet licking. And he's like, oh no, it's not having any effect. She's not reacting at all. I'm gonna have to lick even harder. He's like, I gotta stop her, but she won't look down. Ugh. Oh god. It's just so gross. I don't want to look at the feet. And then she starts feeling it. And she's like, oh damn, it actually don't feel that bad. She's like, ooh. She's like, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe she just doesn't have a strong fit. Maybe she just doesn't like feet like that. And she's like, ooh, okay. She's like, hey, you know, maybe it's not bad. I see where you're coming from though. Maybe dogs are nice. But in the anime, like in the manga, it looks like she was enjoying it a little bit. But in the anime, kind of didn't really look like it at all. Like, kinda. And she's like, hey, you know, alright, well, I'm gonna leave now. And Inukai-san just looks completely fucking defeated because, well, yeah, I would expect that because she was a heartless bitch and she just told the girl straight up, like, I know you're a dog fucker. Like, you can't deny that. You fuck dogs. And she's just like, oh, well, now I hate myself now. And it's like, well, yeah, you just said something really private about her, and now she's just like, oh god. So this part is different. Alright, so this part is also completely different, I think. But let me see. Oh, no, okay. It's mostly the same. So in this part, Pochita is looking in, I think, Inukai's bag. Because I think there's like a... Oh yeah, so what happens in the manga is that he put the dog tracker that, you know, that Inukai put on him, because he took it out when he was in the pool. He managed to get it off of him, so he took that, put it on her leg, which I'm assuming she knew it was on there, and just leading him towards her. Yeah, leading him towards her. But yeah, he takes the dog tracking thing, and in Inukai's bag there's like a GPS, so she always knows where he is. So he runs out of the room, starts going all over the damn school, running down the stairs, just following her. He's like, why do you have to interrogate her like that? Like, what the fuck are you really after? Why do you have to do such a thing? So he's chasing her all over the school, and they go into the old school building that's been abandoned, I guess. He's like, is that her lair? Like her evil supervillain lair? So he gets in there, and it's all empty and dark, but there's like some small light glimmering like in the back, in like this one room. And she's like, okay, she must be in here somewhere. And then he gets in the room, and he sees that she's sitting on that table, like up above. He's trying to look around, but he didn't notice, and she's like, look, up here. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like, you looking for me? You looking for Inari Sakihira? She's like, hey, Inari Sakihira is here. What's up, dog? And then the episode ends there, but the thing is that in the manga, since they established that those two other girls are working for her, you see her two sidekicks, her two goons in, you know, that one really happy looking girl and then that one really mean looking girl. And yeah, but then it's revealed in the manga they talk about this, but it pretty much ends the chapter the same way, where she's like, oh, congratulations, you found me. Oh, nice job putting that dog collar. Trying to find me, the dog tracker, and trying to find me. She's like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? Now everything will be revealed. So next episode will hopefully be when they get to the big moment and they reveal more stuff about Pochita and what happened to him. And this is also the end of volume 2, which went by a lot faster than the first one, I remember. Like, this was like 5 episodes. I want to say like 4 episodes or something. I don't know. It felt like it went by a lot quicker. So now, yeah. So now that's done with, and now episode 12, I guess, and maybe 13 if there's a 13, are gonna cover the beginning of book 3. So look forward to that. All right, bye.